the fundamental units, right? So how many fundamental units are there altogether? 7 fundamental units are there, right? So 7 fundamental units are there, and these 7 fundamental units are we called as they are independent because they can't be expressed using any of the other, the physical quantities, right? And the second part that we have to discuss is derived unit. So I hope that you got the the first fundamental units understanding. Come fast. Johan, it's great. All right. So far we discussed about the fundamental units, the 7 fundamental units the last week, right? So you understood that? Yeah. So 7 fundamental units are like the building blocks of the, all the physical quantities or the measuring units that you can build any of the measuring units using those 7 fundamental units, right? So those are the building blocks. Using those that you can derive any of the other derived units, right? And now the derived units are also there. So I discussed, I think, about the Newton. Newton is one of the derived units. The Newton is made of like how many derived units? Newton එක හැදලා තියෙන්නේ? Say or not? Say no. What the hell is this? Okay. What's happening? Okay. Something happened. Did I delete the whiteboard or something? No? That's fine. Alright, okay, right. So there are like derived units like Newtons. Newton is simply like F equals ME, right? F equals ME. So the symbol that we use to measure the Newton is capital N, that is Newton, right? But the the derived units in the Newtons are different. මේකේ තියෙන derived unit එක different. Derived unit එක මොකක්ද? That comes with these things, right? So mass is measured by kilograms and the acceleration is measured by ms minus 2, right? So simply Newton is something with 3 the fundamental units. What are the 3 fundamental units here you see? Kilogram is there, meters is there, and the square second is also there, right? So Newton කියන එක derive වෙලා තියෙන fundamental units 3කි. So there are 7 of them. Any other units that you see now can be derived using these 7 fundamental units. That's the beauty of this metric unit system, right? ඕනම එකක් derive කරලා ගන්න පුළුවන් අපිට අර 7 පාවිච්චි කරලා. example එක තමයි මේක. මේ newtons කියන එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන්නේ kilograms, ඊට පස්සේ meters and seconds කියන units 3. මේ ඔක්කොම fundamental units. ඒ වගේ derived units තියෙනවා ඕන තරම්, could be millions, even though there are millions, that all the millions that can be derived using these 7 fundamental units. 7යි අපිට තියෙන්නේ. 7න් මේ ඕන එකක් derive කරලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. So ඒ 7 අපි කතා කරා. Can you remember the 7 fundamental units now? How to remember now? What are the fundamental units? 7 fundamental units. First one is length. Okay. Mass, time, thermodynamic temperature, yes, electric current, what else? Luminous intensity, amount of substance, good, right? So those are the 7 fundamental units, and these 7 fundamental units will be there in your papers, and most probably will be there in your A-level paper as well. Sometimes they will ask like, what are the select the answer which doesn't have a fundamental unit, which isn't a fundamental unit. Or එහෙම නැත්නම් ආර දීලා අහන්න පුළුවන් මේ out of 7 answers select the fundamental unit. Likewise there can be questions. There are questions have been there, can come, right? Now ඊට පස්සේ අපිට discuss කරන්න තියෙන්නේ මේ derived units ගැන. හරිද? අපි derived units වලට දැන් එනවා, right? So derived units are like derived using the 7 fundamental units like the Newtons. Newton is kg ms minus 2. It was derived by 3 fundamental units, right? හතක් පාවිච්චි කරලා තමයි ඔක derive කරලා හදලා තියෙන්නේ, right? All are coming very late. Where's the shorty? Where's the buddy? Sit in. Right? එතකොට fundamentals බලන්න. Right? Fundamentals විදිහට අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් අර derived units විදිහට අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් අර 7 fundamentals වලින් derive වෙලා එන units කියලා. නේ? ඒතර ඒ වගේ derived units කීපයක් දීලා තිනවා ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ table එකේ. බලන්න tute එකේ බලන්න page number. Which page number is it? 2, right? In the page number 2 derived unit table එක දීලා තියෙනවා. හරි. ඒකේ බලන්න reference to fundamental unit is the key point to simplicity of the international unit system. Some derivative units do not have special names while some are called by their special name. Some derived units have a special name, like they have put a special name means like usually the scientists who found whatever the quantity or the measurement, they put their name like to call it afterwards. Like the Newtons. Newton කියලා කියන්නේ ඒ වගේ එකක්. kg ms minus 2 කියන එක අපි use කරන්නේ නෑ. Instead we are using Newtons as a respect for the founder of those physical quantities, right? So likewise there are few derived units here. First one is area. So what is area? What do you call area? Now this, like when it comes to the mathematics, there's a story in every the whatever the formula that you write, it's a story, right? So you have to know the the maths basis to understand or to like decode the meaning, right? It's like a code that it has a meaning. So if you understand the mathematics, that you can decode it and understand it. That's how simple it is. So what is area now? What does area mean? In a formula, how do you put area? Length into breadth, right? Length into breadth is simply area. Shall we write it? In the first one, meaning is length into breadth. Length into breadth. Hands up those who have the mobile phones. You don't have one? Not right now. You? Chutti ka don't worry. Ogul පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ. You said last week. Okay. Then now we have issue. I was wanting to like show you a video that there is like which one I made that you have to go to my YouTube channel. Select the playlist there, like the practical side there, and there's a separate video for that. And if you don't have the mobiles, I'll have to take it to here, right? It doesn't matter. Can you fill this till I like go and so now tell me like what is the speed, distance over time, right? And the units of area is m square. Those are simple things, right? And the speed is ms minus 1, right? Force is mass into acceleration, and the units are in fundamental units kg ms minus 2. In fundamental units it's kg ms minus 2, right? And does it have a special name? Yeah, what? Newton, right? It's Newton, and the symbol is capital N. And frequency is like it's what we say like something happens frequently, that it means it happens in a certain period of time and it repeats, right? So turns over time, right? Turns over time, and the units are per second. Now the turns doesn't have any unit. Over time is seconds. So when the second comes up, it becomes minus 1, s minus 1. So in the fundamental unit, it should be s minus 1, right? Get it? I'll write it. And does it have a special name? The frequency? Yeah, hertz. right? Hertz. And the symbol is capital H, simple is it. Right. ये मैं लपा कनेक्ट कर लो Epic connect. Yeah, turns over time. Turns over time.
Special names for these?
Which one?
Area.
Doesn't have any.
Their own.
Yeah.
No.
Like only the force and frequency have the, like area, speed doesn't have any special names, right? So you put a tick here, just a, row, that one. Right? So these doesn't have any special name, so you put something like this here. Force and frequency does, right? Those two have. Okay. Okay. ඒක ඕන වෙලාවට ගන්න බෑද? You already had this lesson in the ET class, right? The measurements, the vernier caliper and everything, you know? Like you're supposed to. You went Sakya. That's why. So here people, they had this lesson earlier, right? I think it's the 9th lesson, but had it earlier. Okay, fine. So since he had the same lesson, I was thinking that I mix up the area and volume with the lesson, so it will be, otherwise it will be boring because he had the same lesson in ET, So I'm mixing it up for a bit and I'm dragging it for a few weeks and we'll be doing the measurements with the practicals, afterwards, right? So I brought a few tubes, but people took it, extra people were there in the classes, so all the tubes were yes, didn't do none. So only 3 were left. Any lucky person can take the 3 and next week I'll give you the area and volume tube as well, right? So you can do the calculations in area volume while doing the measurements. We'll take 2 lessons together. That will be good because this is one of the calculating, they have the calculation parts. This goes in the initial part with the theory. Now the shorty is coming. Bro, what happened? You got late. My friend is here. That's fine, you stay. Right. Right. Making gun, sir. Making select කරද ගන්නේ? දැන් තේපා. Making it නේ. Nice. And on me source එකේ. Where's the input? Okay. Right. Again. VG. Okay, good. Nice. Right. Okay, so you wrote this all right. This is length into, you have to write the whole thing. I'm writing it in shorter. Length into breadth. Units are m square. Doesn't have any special names or symbols. Now the speed is distance over time, and the units are ms minus 1. Doesn't have any special names or symbols. Force is mass into acceleration. Units are kgms minus 2, and doesn't have any special names, is it? No, it have, right? What are the special names? Newtons. Newton. And the symbol is capital N. And the frequency is turns over time. Usually it writes is like you have to turns over time kila liyanna. Usually it writes as N over S. That's fine. So the units are S minus 1 because numbers doesn't have any units, right? Only the seconds have. So when the second comes up, the power becomes minus, right? S minus 1. So does it have a special name? Hertz, right? And the symbol is? Yeah. Right. Now come to the prefixes. So this part we have to go on a video. Input this one. Yep. Now if you are like using your mobile phones, now I'll be putting some videos, like your lessons will be also there, and some practical stuff I'll be putting most of the time in the YouTube. So you go through those, that you can take a better understanding how the real thing happens or the real thing works, right? So I have already made few, and I'll be making more. I'll be using you guys as well to make some videos in the future. So can't help. You have to, yeah. What? Get one. Hi. So we are going to discuss about the prefixes. So when you go to the the channel, go to the playlist, and there's this practical side deck. I think I can use the board. Yeah, I can use the board. See now. So something happened. Yeah, now when you go to the channel, there's a playlist. You go to the playlist, right, and English medium SFT have all the the lessons and the other things and the ads and all are there, and practical side deck. It opened the whole thing, did it? It did open the whole thing, right? Now මේ ඔක්කොම තියෙන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ practical based වෙච්ච situations ගැන, real case scenarios ගැන. These are in Sinhala. Anyone who cannot understand any Sinhala language? No, right? All can understand Sinhala, so no worries. I didn't prepare any like the English medium ones. Right. Watch it and listen carefully, yeah? Bro, the sound doesn't come. What happened? අපි තියෙන පොඩි අභියෝගයක් බාර ගන්න කැමතිද? හරි. මේක තමයි අභියෝගය. මකන කීයක් තියෙනවද කියලා බලන්න. වටේ තියෙන. Family with the guy? He's here. He's working here. Upasarga means prefixes. Right. Okay. Come to the debut. Right. Okay, so this is actually the first lesson. Now only one. Right. Now it's fine. Okay. Right. So උපසර්ග කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා තේරුණාද? Understood something? Yes or no? Still no. Understood something? No. Upasarga කියලා කියන්නේ like not the upasarga, prefixes, right? Like prefixes කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි අපි measurement එකක් ගන්නකොට we can always use the the standard units, right? So sometimes we have to take much larger the sizes of the standard units or much smaller units of the standard units when it comes to the the real estate measurements. Like in the video that we discussed, අපි පේදුරු තුඩින් ඉඳන් දෙවුඳුරු තුඩට මයින්නකොට we can't use meters, right? That takes a lot. Meters වලින් මැන්නොතින් numbers ගොඩාක් එනවා. So we can't do it like that. So what do we take? We take kilometers. Instead of like the meters, we take kilometers. So kilo is one of the prefixes which is a multiplication of the the basic unit. නේ multiplication එකක් තමයි kilo කියලා කියන්නේ. දැන් අපි අර Facebook එකේ තියෙන 1 kilo like. So 1 kilo like means 1000 like. So 1000 or the kilo is one of the prefixes, right? We use to like call the 1000 of a unit of anything as a kilo. අපි ඒවට කියනවා prefixes. අපි දැන් kilo වලින් තව 1000 units ගත්තොත් 1000 ඒ කියන්නේ kilo වලින් 1000 times of kilo කියන්නේ කොච්චරක් වගේද? කොච්චරද? 10 to the power 6. So what is 10 to the power 6? It is what? Mega. Yes. It is easy when you like think of the data. But it like පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස් වෙනවා. 1048 නේ. 1048 bytes are 1 kilobyte. Right? අපි ඒක 1000 කියලා ගමු. 1000 bytes 1 kilobyte. Kilobyte 1000ක් 1000 times of kilobytes is 1 megabyte. 1000 times of megabyte is a gigabyte. 1000 times of a gigabyte is 1 terabyte. 1000 times of a terabyte is 1 peta. Right? Likewise, those are the prefixes. ඒ කියන්නේ 1000 times multiply වෙවි යන්නේ. ඒතර අපි ඒව use කරන්නේ අපිට හැමතිස්සෙම බේසික් එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න බැරි. දැන් අර මකනින් මයින්නකොට එයා මකනින් මයින්න වෙනකොට එයා මොකද්ද කරේ? He used the tiles, right? Because tiles are larger like measurement of rather than the eraser, right? ඊට පස්සේ එයා tile එකකින් measure කරගෙන ගිහිල්ලා tile එකකට තියෙන number of erasers බැලුවා. ඊට පස්සේ multiply කරලා ගත්තා. Same thing that we do in the prefixes. අපි ලොකු ඒවා මයින්න ලොකු value එකක් තියෙන එකක් අරගෙන මයින්න. But the standard unit is something else, right? ඒකම multiplication එකක් තමයි අපි prefix එකක් කියලා පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නේ. So අපි හිතමු මෙන්න මෙයා කියලා standard unit එක. So 1000 times of the the standard unit is a kilo of it, right? So the prefix is kilo. Yeah. And 1000 times of kilo or 10 to the power 6 times from the base is what? 1000 times of a kilo is what? Think of the bytes. 1000 times of kilobyte is 1 megabyte. It's a mega, capital M, right? And 1000 times of mega is what? Giga, 1 giga. So 1 giga is 10 to the power 9 times from the base, right? And 1000 times of giga is what? 1 tera. That is 10 to the power 12 times from the beginning. And 1000 times of tera is what? Peta, 1 peta, right? That is 1 peta, and that is 15 times from the base unit. 10 to the power 15 times of the base unit, right? So these are prefixes that in the like me වැඩි වෙන විදියට value එක වැඩි වෙන order එකට තමයි ඔය තියෙන්නේ, right? Ascending order එකට. අපි මේකේ ආපහු value එක අඩු වෙන පැත්තටත් තියෙනවනේ divisions විදියට. 1000 divisions කියලා කියන්නේ 10 to the power minus 3. Minus 3 කියන්නේ 1000 වලින් divide කරා. Base unit එකෙන් 1000 times divide වුණාන් පස්සේ මොකක්ද එන්නේ? Milli. That is milli. Meter වලින් 1000 times again if I divided 1 meter into 1000, that is milli. Yes, that is milli. And if I divide milli into 1000 times, bro, you have to know, right? What? Micro, that is 10 to the power minus 6 from the the base unit, we write it like this. You take a loop like this and throw it like this, right? So that's a micro. And like 1000 divisions of micro is what? Which is like 10 to the power minus 9 from the base is what? That is nano, right? It is nano. So this is like in the level of microorganisms. Nano is in the level of the atoms, usually the atoms, right? And 1000 divisions of nano is what? You guys know. Good, right? That's pico, right? So these are the prefixes. So you use Tino. We don't have to like know because it's enough for the syllabus, like enough for the A levels. There's more. There can go more, but the thing is we haven't gone through from the level of nucleus, right? We've been through like nucleus එකනොත් now we are in the level of string theory. Have you heard? There's a string theory that we are going like we are dividing from the the basic things. We divide කරගෙන ගිහිල්ලා we went to the atomic level. Then we went to the subatomic level. And now we are dividing the atom like the subatomic particles as well. If you divided a proton, there's more things inside. So now we are in the level of string theory that they call it. All the the fundamental things are made of strings or the vibrations. Bye. Cancel. Right? Okay. So you understood the prefixes now? Okay. So now there will be sometimes questions. They can ask something like this. What is the ratio, what is the value for the ratio pico over nano? How would you answer this? What is the value for this ratio? Pico is what? 10 to the power minus? Pico. 12, right? Nano is 10 to the power minus 9. Now what is the value of the ratio? Yes, because when the 10 to the power minus 9 comes up, it becomes a plus, right? So when you have like the same 10 that you add the powers, right? So minus 12 plus 9 is minus 3. So the value should be what? Yeah. Sort of questions can be there. So you have to know the size of the prefixes. 10 to the power කීයද කියලා දැනගන්න ඕන. ඒ වගේව ඔළුවේ තියාගෙන. හරි. Now come to the root. Right. So prefixes. The measurements taken in some physical quantities, calculations and measurements are relatively smaller or larger. To read and write these measurements easily, prefixes are used, right? So what are the prefixes? Multiplications of the basic units. Shall we write it? Multiplications of the basic units. Multiplications of the basic units. Multiplications of the basic units are known as prefixes, right? Are known as prefixes. Yes? Okay. Now 10 to the power 0 is the base unit, right? From the base unit, 1000 times of a multiplication is kilo. 1000 times of the multiplication is kilo. So make a balance. මෙයාට එන්න ඕන මොකද්ද? Kilo, right? මෙයාට එන්න ඕන kilo. And the symbol is simple k, right? Symbol is simple k. And what is 10 to the power 6? Mega. Write down all those. Mega. And the symbol is capital M. 10 to the power 9 is giga. Sorry. Symbol is capital G. 10 to the power 12 is tera. Symbol is capital T. 10 to the power 15 is peta. Symbol is capital P. And the 10 to the power minus 3 is what? Milli. Symbol is simple M. 10 to the power minus 6 is micro. Symbol is something like this. You take a loop like that. 10 to the power minus 9 is nano. And the symbol is simple N. And 10 to the power minus 12 is pico, which is simple P. So now hands up those who like do the fast track. You. Only yourself, right? There'll be another girl. Now that's your friend, yes? Yeah, that's your friend. She'll be doing the fast track as well. And I think there'll be some other from Shakti. So the people who are doing the fast track have to stay till till 5. So the second class will start from 3 to 5 and it will be about force. Now the first lesson we are starting in the second session is force. Force එක පටන් ගන්නවා 3 to 5. හරි. fast track එක කරන අය 3 to 5 වෙනකම් මෙහි ඉන්න. එකට ඉවරලා එතකොට 3 වෙනකම් ඉන්න. ඒ අතරේ පොඩ්ඩක් lunch එක ගන්න. lunch එක අරගෙන I'll be giving the question tubes in the future. So ඒවා කරන්න මෙහි ඉඳගෙන. ප්‍රශ්න වලට උත්තර ලියන්න. ඒ practice කරන්න පාඩම් කරන්න ඉව කරන්න. Okay. Right. Have you got this? මේක හරි නේද? Right. So there's a speciality about the physical quantity mass. When it comes to the measuring unit of the mass, like the standard unit of the mass, what is the standard unit of mass? Kilograms. Usually kilo is one of the prefixes. So the standard unit usually doesn't use any prefixes because the multiplication of the standard units are the prefixes. So a standard unit cannot use one of the prefixes, but only like mass have this standard unit as kilograms, which is with a prefix. නේ prefix එකක් තියෙනවා kilogram කියන එක නේද? ඒක mass වල විතරමයි. වෙන කාගේවත් එහෙම prefix එකක් තියෙන එකක් standard unit එක විදිහට පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක speciality එකක්. හරිද? එහෙම ගන්න හේතුව මොකක්ද? Why do they use it like that? සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි prefix එකක් විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ වැඩිපුරම තියෙන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මොකක් හරි unit එකක් වැඩිපුරම පාවිච්චි කරනවා නම් එයා තමයි prefix එක විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. ඉස්සර වැඩිපුරම පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ මොනවද? grams. But nowadays kilograms. So instead of grams, now the standard unit has converted into kilograms because ඒක පාවිච්චි වෙනවා අඩුයි grams කියන එක දැන් වැඩිපුර පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ kilograms, right? So it's here. The international unit of measuring mass shows a speciality as the international standard unit is kilograms even though the base unit is grams. නේ standard unit එක විදිහට kilogram පාවිච්චි කරන එක prefix එකක් තියෙන එකක්. හරිනම් gram එක තමයි prefix එක වෙන්න ඕන. පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? gram එක තමයි base unit එක වෙන්න ඕන. පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ yes. Right. Now come to the measuring instruments, right? Measuring instrument. Now in the measuring instruments there are scales. Now these are 3 measuring instruments like that we usually use. First one is a clock, second one is a balance, third one is a measuring cylinder, right, or a measuring array. So in these the instruments they have scales. Usually in most of the scales we use a line divided into equal parts and you put the measuring values. Like අපි meter rule එකක නම් line එකක් ගන්නවා ඒක divide කරනවා මේ gap එක 1 mm 2 mm 3 mm likewise. ඊට පස්සේ Newton's Bohr scale එකක් වගේක් ගත්තොත් even the same, we take a line, we divide it into equal parts and one division is equal to 1 Newton, two divisions 2 Newton, three divisions 3 Newton likewise. And what else? In the what else that we use linear scales in like in measuring instruments මොනවා වගේ වලද? Sorry? You mean temperature? Yeah, even the measuring tape. And even in the temperature, in the thermometer, there's a linear scale that all the divisions are like 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, the Celsius divisions are there. So we call those things as linear scales. Those are linear scales. And apart from the linear scales, there are some other, the scales that we use. Line එකන්නේ linear scale එකේ. Apart from linear scale, what else? Like, what are the other scales that we use? In like, අපි දකින scale මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Apart from the linear scale. මොනවා වගේද පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ? Clock එකේ මොකද්ද තියෙන scale එක? නෑ, scale එකේ අරක linear, line එකක් divide කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Clock එකේ මොනවද divide කරලා තියෙන්නේ? Circle එකක් angle වලට divide කරලා තියෙනවා. So that is one of the other scales. අර pressure එක measure කරනකොට speedometer එක වාහනේ ඒකේ line එකක් නෙමෙයිනේ. ඒකේ තියෙන curve එකක්. ඒකට අපි කියන මොන scale එකක් කියලාද? Circular scale කියලා. Right. So there are two type of scales. One is linear scale, that is a straight line divided into equal parts, and the other one is circular scale, that it is a circle or a semicircle that is divided into equal angles. Right. So those are the two scales. Can't hear you. Tell it loud. What is it? Eh? මොනවද? මොනවද බලන්නේ? earthquake එක බලන එක. ඒකේ බලන්නේ ඒ measurement එකක් නෙමෙයි ගන්නෙ. That is a pattern. That is a pattern we take, and even that is one of the linear scale when it comes to the height. ඒ කියන්නේ උඩන යන්නේ. උඩ යන එක ගත්තාම පස්සේ height එක ගන්න. So that also comes under linear scale. Linear scale එකට ඒක වැටේ. ඒකේ අර හැඩ යන්නේ pattern එක. That we only worry about the pattern. Size ගත්තාම පස්සේ either we measure it in the y axis and the x axis. Y axis එකත් linear, x axis එකත්. So those are linear scales. Right. Okay. So shall we write it? Two of the most used scales in the measuring instruments are what? Linear and circular scale. Right? Linear and circular scale. Linear and circular scale. Right? So can you identify these instruments? First one is what? A measuring ruler. Yeah, write it. Measuring ruler. Measuring ruler. And the second one is a measuring tape. Measuring tape. Third one is a, what do you call the third one? What is the third one? Have seen it, right? Yeah, what is it? Can't remember the name. Okay. What is it? A triple beam balance. You'll be learning like more about the triple beam methods in the same lesson. Triple beam balance. Right? Triple beam balance. Okay. Now these are two circular scale instruments. So what is the first one? A protractor. 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 P-R-O. T-R-A-C-T-O-R. Protractor. Right? The second one is? What is the second one? A stopwatch, right? Stopwatch. Stopwatch. Does anyone have some water? Thank you. Right, you on it? Right. Okay. Take a guess. Too much guess. පුරුද්දට බොන්න එපා. මොකද වෙන්නේ? Like if you drink it in a row, like continuously for like 2 to 3 years, come. At least 2 years, come. At least 2 years, you will definitely end up having diabetes. For sure. අනිවාර්යෙන් 2 years in a row බිව්වොතින් sure diabetes. හදනවම තමයි. Now he's giving it to everyone. මං විතර දියඩිය වදාගෙන කවන්නේ කට්ටිය බොන්න කියලා දෙනවා. Right. හැමදාම බොන්න එපා අනිවා හැදෙනවා. Right. Okay, now the next one is measurement and the least count. Now these two, like then the measurement, the least count is very important. One of the very important, the subtopics, the least count. So simply, what is a measurement? Measurement is, the value that we measure using a measuring instrument. Simple as that. Like the value or the size or the magnitude that we measure using a measuring instrument is a measurement of the instrument, right? So as it says, the value obtained measuring a physical quantity with a measuring instrument is called as a measurement, right? Simple. And what is the least count? And is it important, like the least count? Is it important to have a least count? Yes, they have it. You. There's only one. You have it, right? Right. So least count, is it important? And if it is important, why? අඩුමගේ ගන්න. That's correct. ඇයි අඩුමගේ ගන්න ඕන? Why is it important to take the lowest value? කියන්නේ lowest value වලින් measure කරන එක හොඳයිද? ඒ කියන්නේ least count එක අඩු වෙන තරමට හොඳයිද නැත්නම් least count එක වැඩි වෙනවද? Yes. The accuracy increases, right? Because when you take like the lowest measurement, the least count as low as possible, the accuracy will be really high. Let me tell you an example. අපි හිතමු මාක් හරි ඔයාට හම්බ වෙනවා මෙන්න මේ වගේ ස්කේල් එකක්. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 likewise there. Could be any, centimeters, millimeters, doesn't matter. ඔයාට දෙනවා මෙන්න මේ වගේ object එකක length එක measure කරන්න කියලා. ඔයා measure කරනවා මෙහෙම. Right? So what is the length of the object now? 3. Yes, 3. Is it actually 3? Or when you enlarge it, what do you see now? It's a little bit more than 3. So the 3 is not accurate enough, right? So what I do is, I'm going to divide this division into 10 again. මෙන්න මේ මෙතන තියෙන division එක මම ආපහු 10 වලට divide කරනවා. බලන්න. Yes. මෙන්න මේ 3 2 3 කියන division එක මම enlarge කරලා අරගෙන මෙයාගේ object එක දැන් තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේක 2 මේක 3 නේ. It's somewhere close to here, right? So I'm going to divide it. 1 2 3 9 10 right 10 වලට මම divide කරා then right 10 වලට divide කරලා තියෙනවා දැන් මට කියන්න බලන්න දැන් මේ object එකේ length එක කීයද 2.9 somewhere 2.9 පළවෙනි එකේදී අපිට ආවේ 3 දෙවෙනි එකේදී අපිට එන්නේ 2.9 now is it accurate now it's actually not right if you enlarge it again you see another gap there so there's another gap මම ඒකත් enlarge කරලා ගන්නවා ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයා ඉන්නේ 2.93 කියන measurement දෙක අතරේ so I'm going to enlarge it again so this is 2.9 and this is 3 and it's somewhere close to like if I divide it into 10 if I divide it into 10 now it's somewhere 2.9 වල මුල ඉන්නේ නේ 3 පැත්තට නෙමෙයිනේ බර වෙලා ඉන්නේ 2.9 වල මෙන්න මේ හරිය වගේ ඉන්නේ the object is somewhere here so now how much is it 2.91 let's take it as 2.91 make it then 2.91 not really right if you enlarge it again so it will differ right so there's no actual measurement that is 100% accurate you know there's no actual measurement that is 100% accurate right you can't find any 100% accurate anything in your life right everything has a you know error a level of error is there right so what happens when the least count is low now in this one the least count is 1 when it comes to here it's 0.1 and when it comes to here it's 0.01 so which one is more accurate 0.01 is more accurate because this is the most accurate measurement right this is the most accurate measurement right so when the least count is like reducing the accuracy will increase or the error will decrease right the error will decrease get it right so when you are like taking a measurement you have to worry about the least count if the least count is like low enough that you'll get a more accurate result right so that is one why this is important is I'll tell you something like this let's say you are into rocket science or something you are in the NASA now you're going to send a shuttle into Mars right Mars වල shuttle එකක් යන්න හදන්නේ say what's your name you said your name even last week you said your name මොකද නෝ Pamit you know the Pamit unit was even there in the last week it's in the internet now right so let's say Pamit is going to so Pamit is now in the NASA now he want to you know send a shuttle into the Mars right එයා ඒකින්ද calculate කරනවා මෙන්න මේ angle එකකින් shuttle එක යවුවොතින් it will go to the Mars now this is the angle right හැබැයි Pamit ගන්න calculation එකේ decimals ගන්න පොඩ්ඩක් අඩු වෙනවා ඒ කියන්නේ least count එක අඩු වෙනවා එතකොට පොඩි දැන් හරිනම් මේක තමයි යන්න ඕන path එක least count එක decimals ගන්න අඩු කරපින්ද පොඩි gap එකක් එනවා right so if this is the path now Pamit had like 5 decimals so there's a simple gap there only a very simple gap right in the beginning it's a very simple gap that you don't even see it that there's a gap but what happens when it is like sent when it's moving forward the gap will be increasing so what happens now the rocket supposed to go to Mars it will go somewhere yes right so that happens so that's why the accuracy is very important Elon Musk ගේ rockets කීයක් විතර ගිනි ගත්තද 3ක් විතර ගිනි ගත්තා එක දිගට දාපුනේ 3ක්ම ගිනි ගත්තා what happened because of the simple accuracies weren't there right so simple accuracy can cost you billions right so you have to worry about the you know the least count when it comes to the rocket science you have to take many decimals as possible but does it matter when you like throw a stone at someone no right when you throw a stone at someone like you don't have to calculate into that decimals right හරියට නිකන් කනේ මයිලකට ගන්නවා කියම ගන්න දෙයක් නැහැ නේ එච්චර accurately ගන්න ඕනේ හරි එතකොට ඒ වගේදී අපිට එච්චර accuracy එකක් ඕනේ නෑ. හැබැයි සමහර ඒ වගේදී ඕන. ඒ හින්දා depending on the sensitivity of the measurement that you take, you have to get a certain level of accuracy, you have to get a certain level of least count. Right? Depending on the sensitivity of the work that you are doing, you have to select a certain accurate least count. Right? ඒතර least count එක ගොඩාක් important. හැබැයි least count එක අඩුවෙන් ගන්න තරමට හොඳයි, but you don't have to go into many decimals. Right? ගොඩාක් එහෙම ගන්න ගියොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? පිස්සුවක් වෙනවා නේ. ඒතකොට එහෙම ගොඩාක් decimals වලින් අරගෙන අර සමහර කාටුන්ස් වල නම් පෙන්නනවනේ නේ. ඔය මැත්ස් කරලා ගන්නට ගණන් කරලා තමයි මේ ගාන එක ගහන්නේ. ඒකක් තියෙනවා අක්කර ක්‍රිකට් ගහන එක. ඌ නර්ඩ් කෙනෙක් ඌට මේ බෝලේ දානකොට ඌ කැල්කියුලේට් කරන ඔක්කොම ටික ගාලා තමයි ගහන්නේ. බෝලේ හොයාගන්න නැති වෙන කාරණා. හරි. අර එහෙම ඕනේ නේ. එච්චර ඕනේ. Depending on the work that you do, you have to take a least count that you get a really good accurate value, right? So that is least count. Okay. Now come to the theory note. Right. So the least count. The difference between two readings in an instrument is known as least count. So the lowest value that can be measured using a measuring instrument is the least count of that instrument, right? Shall we write it? Write down as the lowest value that can be measured using a measuring instrument is the lowest count of its scale, right? So that is the least count, and it's important, right? It is very important when it comes to the constructional or the whatever the stuff you be doing in the future. You have to consider about the least count නේ. accuracy එක වැඩි කරගන්න නේ. building එකක් ගන්නකොට decimals එහෙම ගහලා ඇද කරලා ගෙවුවොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඊට පස්සේ ඉවරයි building කඩන් ගන්නවා ටික කාලයක් යනකොට. so අර accuracy කියන එක අපි ඒ ගන්න decimals ගන්න least count එක අනුව වෙනස් වෙනවා. more accurate ගන්නවා නම් least count එක පුළුවන් තරම් අඩු කරලා ගන්න ඕන. හැබැයි depends on the work that you do. හැම එකම එහෙම කරන්න යන්න ඕනේ නෑ. Depends on the work you do, right? Okay. So come to the errors, right? Come to the error. The first error that we have to discuss is the zero error. What is zero error? Zero error is tell again. Yes. Usually when we taking a measurement, it should start from the zero, right? Has to start from the zero, and we are taking the measurement from the zero to somewhere the value is. And in some cases, when you are taking the measurement, the zero value changes. Sometimes you are starting maybe before zero, or sometimes you are starting after the zero. That the final measurement will be false, right? If you started like to measure the measurement before zero, බිඳුවට කලින් පටන් ගත්තොත්, what happens to the measurement that we take? Would it be like more or less? It will be less, like it will be giving a less value than the actual one. බිඳුවට කලින් පටන් ගත්තොත් it will give a less value. And what if you start like after the zero? What happens to the reading? It will be more than the actual one, right? So that sort of errors can happen, and those are called zero errors. Now in the beginning, like in this part, it will be really easy, right? So but there are some other like instruments that you calculate the zero error using its like method of calculating its units, not the units, values. ඒ වර්නි එකේ වගේ වේ සමහරක් වගේ අපිට එනවා ඒක පාවිච්චි කියන්නේ ඒකේ යුනිට්ස් ගන්න මේකේ වැලියුස් ගන්න විදිය පාවිච්චි කරලා zero error එක හොයන්න. හරි. ඒ පාර්ට් එකට ආවම පස්සේ තමයි මේක ඇත්තටම ඉම්පෝටන්ට් වෙන්නේ. අපි මෙතනදී අපි සිම්පලි කතා කරනවා zero error එක ගැන. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒකේ තියෙන පුළුවන් වර්ග දෙකයි. Sometimes we take the measurement before zero, that is a negative zero error. Zero එකෙන් පස්සේ පටන් ගන්න ඒවට අපි කියනවා positive 0 error, simple like that. තොර 0 එකට කලින් පටන් ගන්නවා කියලා කියන්නේ අපිට අන්තිමට එන final measurement එක අඩු එකක්. 0 එකට පස්සේ පටන් ගත්තොත් අපිට එන එක වැඩි එකක්. right. now හිතන්න මෙන්න මේ වගේ එකක්. So let's say you are given a balance that you have to measure, you know, the weight, and it has a 0 error, which is, let's say, it's supposed to stay at here in the 0, but it gives a value when it doesn't measure any of the masses. It's give a value of 5 kilogram. Is this a positive 0 error or a negative 0 error? This is a positive 0 error, right? It's supposed to be in the 0, but it shows a plus 5 of a value when it doesn't measure any of the weights, right? Then මම මේකට දානවා 10 kilograms of a mass. Now what is the, you know, the reading that it gives? Now it's give a 15 kg of a reading. Now this is not correct, right? මේක correct නෑ. මේක අපිටද පාඩු මුදලාලි අංකල්ටද? මේක අපිට පාඩුයි නේ, because it shows a 15 kilogram but it only gives 10 kilograms. So we want to correct it. ඔය එක දැකලා කියන අංකල් මේන් බෑ පටන් ගත්තේ පහින් මේක හරියට මැනලා ඕන මේකේ ගාන වැරදි කියලා. So how do you correct it? You take the reading first that you have to do, and you know the error here. What is the error? 5 kilogram, and the reading is 15 kilograms. So how do you correct it now? You deduct the measurement, yeah, with the reading, right? With the, yeah, you deduct the error with the reading. Yes. You can measurement එක අරගෙන error එක මොනවා කරනවද? deduct කරලා දාන්න. So what is the formula that you take? Now tell me, this is a positive or a negative error? This is a positive error. Now this is a positive error. And if you want to take the actual reading, what you have to do is actual reading එක ගන්න ඕන ඔයාලට කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. You have to take the visible measurement. That's what we call it, visible measurement. Visible measurement එක අරගෙන ඒකෙන් මොනා කරනවද error එක? deduct කරනවා. Error should be deducted. Now we call it as a negative correction. A positive error has a negative correction. Remember it like that. Positive error na negative correction. So this is one of the formulas you use, right? Right. And the next one is like you are given a same scale, but you know it's supposed to be in the 0 when it doesn't measure any of the masses, but it shows a minus 5 kilogram of a value. Hi, making 10 kilograms of minor. What does it show now? It only shows 5 kilograms. නේ මේකෙන් පෙන්නන්නේ 5 kilograms පෙන්නන. එතකොට මේකේ error එක කොච්චරයිද? minus 5. That is මේක plus 5 මේක minus 5. එතකොට this is a negative 0 error. Yes. මේ error එක negative 0 error එකක් විදිහට එන්නේ. negative 0 error එකක්. හරි. negative error එකක් තියෙනවා. මේකෙන් කොහොමද අපි ගන්නේ actual reading එක? visible එකට අර පිටිපස්සට ගිය එක add කරනවා. So the actual is actual value or the actual reading is measurement plus error, right? Measurement plus error. මේ දෙක තමයි equations දෙක. Right? Get it? ඔය දෙක තමයි positive 0 error and negative 0 error. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක calculate කරන්නේ, ඒ කියන්නේ correct කරන්නේ මෙන්න මේ formulas දෙක use කරලා. It's there in the tute. බලන්න. අපි 0 error එකට ඇවිල්ලා කතා කරමුද? ඊට පස්සේ parallax error එකට යන්න. So what is a 0 error? Showing a different value, like let's say showing a non-zero value when it's supposed to be 0, right? අපි එහෙම ලියමු. කියන්නේ showing a non-zero value, showing a non-zero value, showing a non-zero value, showing non-zero value when it's supposed to show, when it's supposed to show 0, when it's supposed to show 0, is known as zero error, right? ඒ කියන්නේ බිඳුව පෙන්වන්න ඕන වෙලාවේදී ආ බිඳුව නොවන පාඨාංකයක් පෙන්වනවා නේ. බිඳුව නොවන එකක් පෙන්වනවා, right? When taking a measurement, first finding the zero error firstly is helpful. It can be added or subtracted from the reading to rectify the error. In some instruments, the ability to rectify zero error is provided. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සමහර objects තියෙනවා අපිට zero එක correct කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ zero error එකක් තිබ්බොත් ඒක correct කරන්න පුළුවන්. example එකක් විතර අර මුදලාලි අංකල්ගේ තරාදිය නේ. ඒකේ සමහරක් වෙලාවට අර එයාගේ එක එක values වැටෙනවා. එයා ටක් ගාලා tab button එක බලලා මොකද ගන්නේ? ඔක්කොම ටික zero කරලා දානවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට lab එකේ තියෙන electric scale වලත් ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපි අර මොකක් හරි liquid එකක mass එක මයින්නවා නම් මුලින්ම කරන්නේ beaker එක තියෙනවා. beaker එක තිබ්බම අපිට beaker එකේ mass එකක් පෙන්වනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මොකද කරන්නේ? we hit the tab button. tab button එක පුවම ඔක්කොම ටික මොකද වෙන්නේ? 0 වෙනවා. 0 වුණාන් පස්සේ liquid එක දානවා. එතකොට අපිට liquid එකේ mass එක මයින්න පුළුවන්. හරි. ඒවට අපි කියනවා අර 0 එක හදන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා. හැම එකෙම මේක නැහැ. අපි තුමු අපි ගාව තියෙන instrument එකේ එහෙම 0 එක හදන්න බෑ. What are you supposed to do? We first measure the zero error. Remember that when you have an instrument, first thing you should check is if it has a zero error. And if it has a zero error, if you can correct it, what you have to do is you have to write the zero error. Right? Measurement එක ගන්න කලින් zero error එක ලියන්න. That's the first thing to do. Right? ඔයගේ වහන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාට measuring instrument එකක් හම්බුනම මුලින්ම කරන්න ඕනේ මොකද්ද? You have to check whether if it has a zero error. තිබ්බොත් ලියා ගන්න ඕන. ඊට පස්සේ you take the measurement and at the end you have to do the correction. If it is a positive zero error, what do you do? You deduct the error from the measurement. And if it is a negative zero error, you add it. Simple as that, right? Okay. Now in some instruments, zero error cannot be rectified as easily. In those instruments, it's better to get the instrument reading and the zero error. After that, the zero error can be added or subtracted from it and get the real value. So there are two types of zero errors, positive and negative zero error, right? So as shown in the figure, when taking a reading from the specific instrument, now how much of a unit is showing? In the first one? 5, right? 5. Shall we write it? 5 units are shown in positive reading, right? 5 units are shown. Right? So when a 10 unit object is kept on it, how much does it show? It shows 15, right? It shows 15. 15 units are shown. 15 units are shown. But to get the real value, error should be deducted or subtracted. Right? Correcting these errors are important. This is a positive zero error, negative correction. Negative correction. So remember it like simple. If the error is positive, the correction should be negative. This will be important when it comes to the vernier caliper and micrometer screw gauge. A part වලදී තමයි ඔන්නවා ටිකක් ඔළුවේ තියා ගන්න ඕනේ. Positive zero error නම් negative correction. Negative zero error නම් positive correction. Right? Those are simple things. But you have to remember because you will confuse when it comes to the instruments if you don't remember it. Right? So actual reading equals visual reading deducted by the zero error. Right? Then comes the negative zero error. As shown in the figure, even when not taking a reading, how much of a value is shown? 5 units are shown in less or the negative reading. Write it as 5 units are shown less. 5 units are shown less. Right. When a 10 unit object is weighed, reading in the instrument will be how much? 5. Yeah, 5. 5. Write it as 5. The error should be added to this. This is a positive correction. So all the negative errors have positive corrections. Right. Remember those. It is on measurements. Right. So in the future, I will be giving you the question banks of the lessons, because you are starting the first and 2 lessons together. It's a good thing that you can have like me a good, like a big question bank with so many questions that me එතකොට සතියේට වැඩ ප්‍රමාණයක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපි ඒරියා n වලින් එකයි මේකයි දෙක එකට පැරලල් යනවා. භාගය. මේක කෑල්ලක් යනවා. ඒක කෑල්ලක් යනවා. හරි. එතකොට දෙකේම ඕගොල්ලන්ට හම්බ වෙනවා theories and measurements දෙකම එකට කවර් වෙනවා. Right. Now come to this part, you have to identify the either if it is a positive 0 error or a negative 0 error. Make a positive the negative the killer label can't tag gal. Yeah, the first one is it starts before 0, that's a negative, and it finishes after 0, so that's a positive 0 error. This one, positive 0 error, negative 0 error. Fine. Yes. And now come to the fractional error. Even this is very important. You know, the fractional error is also important. I'll come to the board. Now you already know about the least count, how the least count affect the measurement, right? The accuracy of the measurement. So if I take it as a a proportion, what kind of a proportion is it? The least count and the error and least count are directly or indirectly proportional. So what is a directly proportional means? When two of the components are either increasing together, when one is increasing, the other one is also increasing. or when one is decreasing, the other one also decreasing. Those are called directly proportional. And if two of the components are indirectly proportional, what happens? When one is increasing, the other one is decreasing. The other one is increasing, the other one is decreasing. That is indirectly proportional. So directly proportionals are like we take like in an equation, let's say F equals ma. So acceleration is directly proportional to force, right? එතකොට equation එකේ දෙපැත්ත මෙන්න මේ විදිහට තමයි ඉන්නේ. අපි mass and acceleration ගත්තොත් if I isolate mass equals අපි acceleration එක isolate කළා දාමු. yeah acceleration එක අපි isolate කරලා තින් acceleration equals f over m, right? then මේකේ acceleration එකයි mass එකයි අතර relationship එක මොකද්ද? indirectly proportional. ඒ කියන්නේ mass එක වැඩි වුණොත් මේ complete එක මොනවා වෙනවද? අඩු වෙනව නේද? ඇයි mass එක වැඩි වුණොත් මෙයාව divide වෙනවනේ. ඒතර complete value එක අඩු වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ acceleration අඩු වෙනවා. එහෙනම් මේ දෙන්න මොකද්ද? indirectly proportional. මෙයා වැඩි වෙනකොට මෙයා අඩු වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මෙයා ගොඩාක් අඩුයි කියන කියොත් මේ divide වුණාන් පස්සේ මේ කියන value එක වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයා වැඩි වෙනවා කියන්නේ. කියන්නේ මෙයා අඩු වෙනකොට මෙයා වැඩි වෙනවා. That is a indirectly proportional relationship. So those are two of the proportions, right? Directly proportional and indirectly proportional. So the error is directly proportional to the least count, because when the least count is increasing, the error is increasing, and when the least count is decreasing, error is also decreasing, right? Yeah. Yes. Mass එකට effect වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙම වෙන්නේ නැහැ. But it really happens, yeah, actually. Doesn't happen like it. No, ඒ සමහර ඒවා අපි constant කරලා ගන්නවානේ. දැන් mass එක ඒ වෙලාවේදී constant. ඒ හින්දා වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි it really happens. ඒ low speeds වලදී ඒක වෙන්නේ නැහැ. If you take something to the speed of velocity, like the speed of light, the velocity of light, and you square it, the mass will turn into energy. That means the mass will decay. Actually the mass will reduce. මේ level එකකින් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි ඔයා light speed එකට යවුවොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? mass එක decay වෙනවා. That happens. ඒක තමයි Albert Einstein ගේ equation එක මොකක්ද? E equals mc square. mass එක light speed එකේ square එකකින් යවුවොත් it converts into energy. decay වෙනවා. මේක හැබැයි මේකෙදි මෙයාව සලකන්න constant එක object එකේ mass එක decay වෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ අපිට පේන්න තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් මේකෙදි අපි constant එකක් විතර අරගෙන තමයි ගන්නේ. Right. Now tell me about the measurement, the size of the measurement. How does it affect the error? How does the the size of the measurement affect the error? Does it affect or doesn't it affect? What do you say? Size එක measurement size එක effect කරනවද effect කරන්නේ නැද්ද? කරනවා. කොහොමද effect කරන්නේ? size එක වැඩි වෙනකොට error එක වැඩි වෙනවද අඩු වෙනවද? size එක වැඩි වෙනකොට error එක වැඩි වෙනවා. error එක අඩු වෙනවා. size එක වැඩි වෙනකොට error එක අඩු වෙනවා. some says වැඩි වෙනවා and අඩු වෙනවා. අඩු වෙනවද වැඩි වෙනවද? අඩු වෙනවා. size එක වැඩි වෙනකොට error එක අඩු වෙනවා. Like how do you explain it? Like I'll take this example, So if you take a washer, that you know a washer, right? අර නට් එකක් එක දාන්නේ round කෑල්ලක් තියෙන washer කියලා තියෙන. නට් එක දාලා අද ගන්න washer එකක් එක, right? ඒතරේ කෑල්ලක් තියෙනවා, we call it washer. හරිද? Listen. We take a washer, right? And it has a thickness of like, let's say 0.8 millimeters, and you don't know it, right? It has a thickness of 0.8 millimeters and you don't know it, and you are asked to measure the thickness, and you are using a simple centimeter millimeter scale, And what happens if you measure it with a simple centimeter millimeter scale? You will end up getting the thickness as 1 millimeter, isn't it? You will take it as 1 millimeter because you can't see that there's a difference of 0.2 millimeters. So is it correct or wrong? That is wrong. And someone comes and tell you that don't take one washer, you just take few more washers, add together and take the measurements. And says like take 10 of the washers, stack together. මෙන්න මේ වගේ 10ක් විතර stack කරනවා. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 rolling too much up. Okay, now 10, right? That's 10. So how many millimeters are there now? 8 millimeters are there, right? If you measure with a ruler, you'll be measuring it now correctly, right? The may 8 millimeters or ruler king measure karati, you will measure it correctly. Now that this is a 8 millimeters. Now how do you take the thickness of a one washer? You divide it by 10. So what do you get? 0.8. So in the beginning, if you use just one washer, you got 1 millimeter. And when you have like 10 washers, you are getting it as 0.8 millimeters. Which one is more correct? The second one. Why? Because you took a larger measurement, right? Because you took a larger measurement, right? That is the reason. එතකොට measurement size එක වැඩි වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ accuracy will increase, right? Measurement size එක වැඩි වෙන එක කියන්නේ accuracy එක increase වෙනවා. So like අපි proportion එකක් විතර ගත්තොත් so what is the proportion there? The measurement size is directly or indirectly proportional to the error. Is indirectly proportional to the size, because when the size increases, error will decrease. So you put those two into a formula, what do you get? Now I am taking the error, I am going to calculate the error, and I am going to calculate the error using the least count and the measurement. I am going to calculate the error using the least count and the measurements. How do you do it? Measurement එක කොහෙට දෙන්නේ? පල්ලෙහාට. Least count again, උඩට. So it should be what? LC over measurement. Yes. LC over measurement කියලා. Get it? So this is the error. So when you are when you are calculating error for something, you have to consider two things. But one is the least count and the other one is measurement. And this is how it acts, right? Making order, if you want to find the percentage error, how do you find it? You multiply this by 100. So the percentage error. So the percentage error equals to LC over measurement into 100%, right? And the important here is if the error of any instrument is more than 1%. Right? Error percentage more than 1%. ඔයා ගත්ත instrument එකේ ගත්ත measurement එකේ error එක percentage error එක more than 1% නම් you take it as a false measurement. Right? ඒක false measurement එකක් විදිහට තමයි ගන්නේ. 1% වලට වඩා වැඩි නම් හැමතිස්සෙම false measurement. එහෙනම් measurement එකක percentage error එක should be always less than 1%. Right? 1% වලට වඩා අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට තමයි accurate කියලා ගන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් false කියලා තමයි අපි සලකන්නේ. හරි. Right. Now come to the dude. error එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. It's there in the අන්තිමට දාලා තියෙනවා. හරි. අන්තිමට දාලා තියෙනවා least count එක නැත්නම් error එක ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. Right. ඒක tute එකේ අන්තිමට තියෙනවා. Now come to these two formulas. Fractional error is equal to least count over measurement. Least count over measurement. And the percentage error is equal to least count over measurement into 100%. Right? 100%. Right. Okay. So So that's so far about the basic theories. Now we are going to learn about the measuring instruments. Measuring instruments ගැන තමයි අපිට ඊළඟට discuss කරගෙන යන්න තියෙන්නේ. Now අපි measuring instrument එකට next week we will start area volume few of the question for now, right? Area volume එකේ questions කීපයක් discuss කරමු. Now there's an issue with the the tubes, but like take a piece of paper and do the calculations, because there's only calculations there to do. I will give you the tubes by next week. Area volume එකේ tube එක next week දෙන්න. Tubes ටික ඉවරුණා අතන. ගහපු ටික ඉවරුණා, ගහන්න වෙලා නැති වුණා. Tube ගහන time එකේ පැන්න ඊට පස්සේ tubes ටික 3යි ඉතුරුනේ. Only 3 is left now. අර දෙන්න 3. මේකේ චුට්ටක් අහන්න. Now there's this thing. There's a limit that we can reduce the least count, right? අපිට least count එක reduce කරන්න බලන limit එකක් තියෙනවා. අපි හිතමු that we can measure 1 millimeter, that's fine. But when it comes to 1 millimeter, what happens to the gap between one of the divisions? Gap එක මොකද වෙන්නේ එන්නේ? Gap එක අඩු වෙනවා. Gap එක අඩු වෙනවයි කියලා කියන්නේ is it like අපිට පේනවද gap එක අඩු වෙන්නේ? පේන්නේ. Now is it possible to take the measurement now? No. So if the measurement or the least count goes less than 1 millimeter, it's really hard to see through the naked eye, right? Can't be seen through the naked eye. So you have to take something else to do that measurement. But if you take like lower measurements than like less than 1 millimeter, it will be really accurate, right? 1 millimeter doing අපි ගත්තොතින් it will be really accurate. So how do you do it? Now we have to measure the values less than 1 millimeter somehow, and you have to use a method for that. And like people had to come with a method in those days, like very early days, like 5th century or somewhere, right? ඒ ගොඩක් කලින්, right? 500 ගණන් වල, ක්‍රිස්තු පූර්ව 500 ගණන් වල, හරි. එච්චර පරණ කාලේ තමයි මේ instrument එක හොයාගන්නේ. Even now we are using it, and we are discussing about the theories even in the vice path now in the class, right? The people, like the person died and maybe born for few times, and still we are talking about the guy, right? Now this is who? Pierre Vernier. This is the guy who found it. Looks like who? Someone like this. If anyone is from Zaira, now there's Prasan. This is one of the teachers. He looks like this. Right. Now come to the theory. I won't be discussing this. Vernier එක මම දැන් discuss කරන්නේ. I will discuss in the next week with the practical stuff and the with all the instruments. And I'll give you one of the homework. හරි, මේකට මම homework එකක් දෙනවා. You do it at home. You have to do something like this. හරි. You take a piece of cardboard. Cardboard එකක් ගන්න, paper එක පොඩක් නැවෙන හින්දා cardboard එකක් ගන්න, and you draw a line of 9 centimeters. Right? 9 centimeters of a line එකක් ඒකේ draw කරන්න මෙන්න මෙහෙම. ඒක ඊට පස්සේ label කරගන්න 1 2 3 there's 3, right? 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. මේක 9 millimeter of a line. හරිද? centimeter 4 5 6 7 8 9. Right? 9 centimeter of line. ඊට පස්සේ මේ line එකටම තව line එකක් මේ length එකෙන්ම ඇඳ ගන්න ඕන. හරි. මේ 9 mm මේ scale එක ඇඳලා මේක ගන්නට මෙන්න මේ edge එකකින් කපා ගන්න ඕන. හොඳේ. මෙන්න මේ edge එකකින් කපා ගන්න. හරිද? මෙන්න මේ ධාර දිගේ ගන්නටම කපා ගන්න cardboard එක කපලා ඒ frame එක වෙන් කරලා ගන්න cardboard එක. Then draw another line. ඊට පස්සේ තව 9 mm 9 cm line එකක් ඔය විදිහටම අදින්න. හරිද? මෙන්න මෙහෙම 9 cm line එකක් අදින්න. ඇඳලා that you have to divide this into 10. හරි. මේක divide කරන්න කීයකටද? 10 වලට. එතකොට 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. And too much. ඔන්නම 10 divisions වලට කඩා ගන්නවා. හරිද? then these are two scales. මේකත් අර විදියටම කාඩ්බෝඩ් එක ගානට මේ ලයින් එක දිගේ ගානට කපලා ගන්න. හරිද? ලයින් එක දිගේ ගානට කපලා ෆ්‍රේම් එක වින් කරලා ගන්න. අරගෙන what I am asking you to do is මේකයි පාවිච්චි කරලා. now this is a centimeter scale. this is a sort of a scale that we made up, right? මේක අපි construct කරපු අලුත් scale එකක්. using these two scales try to measure 3.2. හරිද? අපිට මෙන්න මෙතන line එකක්. 3.2 කියන එක measure කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක try කරන්න. දැන් මේකෙන් අපි 3.2 measure කරන්න පුළුවන්ද තනියෙන්? බෑ. මේකයි දෙන්නවම use කරලා try to measure 3.2 at home. හරි. try එකක් දෙන 3.2 ඔක එහාට මෙහාට කරලා මොකක් කරේ කියලා try to measure 3.2 value. right? අපි ඒක ඊට පස්සේ next week discuss කරමු. I will bring the don't take the picture. okay fine නේ. මේක take a picture if you want. මේක ගෙදරදී හදන්න ඕන. හදලා ලබන සතිය අරගෙනත් එන්න. instruments ටික තියෙනවා. look at the light flashlights on නේ. right? අපි ඒක next week discuss කරමු making measurements ගන්න කොහොමද කියලා. හරි. මේක තමයි Vernier-ගේ method එක. Vernier කරෙත් මෙන්න මේ වගේ එකක්. එයා scales දෙකක්, linear scale දෙකක් පාවිච්චි කරලා අර ගොඩාක් පොඩි values, decimal values, millimeter decimal values measure කරන්න පුළුවන් method එකක් හොයාගත්තා. ඒක අපි මේකෙන් discuss කරමු. right? okay, so that's finished. right? yeah. parallax error එක නේද? we didn't discuss that නේ. then come to the parallax error as well. Come to the parallax error. right? right, where's the parallax error? right. so what is parallax error? parallax error is what? parallax error එක කියලා කියන්නේ අපි measurement එකක් ගන්නකොට we should always take the measurements perpendicular to the the place we are taking the measurement. otherwise what happens? there will be an error නේ. හිතන්න ඔයාට මේ අපි අර කලින් ගත්තා වගේ line එකේම let's say you are taking the measurement from this side. now you are going to see something else rather than the actual value. it says 3.2 but you will see something else. you will see it like more towards the value එක පේන්නේ ඔයාගේ පැත්තට බර වෙලා. and if you take the value from this side again you will see something else, right? මේකේ එන්නේ වැරදි එකක්. if you want to take the correct measurement, what are you supposed to do? you should take the measurement perpendicular to the measuring point, right? මෙන්න මෙතන ඉඳන් ගානට perpendicular ගන්නවා. ඒක අපි ඉස්සර කරනවා මොකද්ද? අර මේ measuring cylinder එකට liquid එකක් දැම්මහම පස්සේ either we take it to the hand and take the eye level perpendicular to the measuring scale to the measuring point. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි ඒක බිමින් තියලා ඒ measuring level එකට පාත් වෙනවා නේ. ඒ මොකද්ද ඒ කරන්නේ අපි? අර perpendicular එක හදා ගන්නවා. I do it, right? you do it in the lab. lab එකේදී එහෙම කරනවා. ඒ අපි measurement එක ගන්නකොට ඇහැයි measurement එකයි perpendicular තියෙන්න ඕන හින්දා. එහෙම නැති වුණාන් පස්සේ මොන error එක දෙන්නේ? එහෙම නැති වුණාන් පස්සේ එනවා parallax error කියන්නේ. හරිද? parallax error කියන එක එනවා. එහෙම නැති වෙච්ච ගමන් parallax error එක එනවා. right, so that is called parallax error. parallax error එකකින් එහෙම අහලම නෑ ප්‍රශ්න. errors that occur because the measurement lines and the reading place doesn't overlap properly. as a result, the reading may change depending on the location of the eye, right? so අපි කොහොමද ගන්න ඕන measurement එක එතකොට? the measurement point should be perpendicular to the eye side, right? අපි ඒක ලියමු. ලියන්න the measurement point the measurement point should be perpendicular to the eyesight. හරි. ඒ දෙක perpendicular වුණොත් තමයි හරියටම අපිට measurement එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right. Okay. So far that's the the basic theories, right? So ඊළඟට අපිට කතා කරන්න තියෙන instrument එක ගැන අපි instrument එක දැන් පටන් ගත්තොත් discuss කරන්න වෙලා මදි. ඒක චුට්ටක් අපි වෙලා අරගෙන මුලින් ඉඳන් fresh එකේ පටන් අරගෙන discuss කරමු. Now we can go to the the area volume part and then ඕගොල්ලෝ class අනිත් ඒවා settle වෙලා තියෙන්නත් ඕන. Like ET class පටන් ගත්තද විරාජ් සර් කියන්න පටන් ගත්තා. ET class ගියා කවද? Saturday. මෙහෙද? මෙහෙද? කොහෙද? සක්කේ ගියද? That's fine. ඒක සක්කේ. මෙහි කවද්ද තියෙන්නේ? Saturday කීයද? 12. හරි. මෙහි තියෙනවා 12. ඊට පස්සේ IT ගියාද? You are from 2025 නේ? That's why you know too much. I thought he's a bright case now in the 2027 he's answering really well. These people are 2027. Yeah. Me set එක 2027. I thought rank තමයි කියලා කෙලින්ම 20 to 27 නැයිලා මේ උත්තර දෙනවා නම් ආයි කෙලින්ම. It's from 2025. Right. So IT, they all started. Sakya. Kamal, Prashant. Our guy. What? You? Kamal sir. Kamal sir is good, really good. Yes. Kamal ki tamai. Mehda? Eda? Mehda tibbi? Ye mehda? Ye tibbi? Good thing. Right. So far you're settled, ne? That's the first thing. මේ දැන් වෙනකොට පොඩ්ඩක් settle වෙලා තියෙනවා නම් class පටන් අරගෙන smooth එකේ කරන් යන ගන්න තේල්ලද? class එකට පුළුවන් පොතේ කායකේ බලමු පියද්ද නේ කායක බලමු මේ ලබන සතියේ තමයි ගන්න වෙන මම හිතන්නේ මම මෙහෙට දුන්න ටියුට් ටික තමයි ඔය ගන්න තිබ්බේ අපි බලමු මෙතනින් බලමු කියන්න යද්දි බලමු මෙතන මට මතක කරගන්න හරි listen first thing is like you should be settled by now and the other thing is you should have to have a ambition that you be studying or doing something like this after A levels, right? If ambition is tiyagan, people should have something like that. Otherwise, what happens in the middle is you are getting lost. කියන්නේ නිකන් මැදදී නිකන් මොකද්ද මේ මම මේ කොහෙද ඉන්නේ? අයි මම මේව කරන්නේ? කොහෙන්ද ආවේ? ඒ වගේ ඒවා හිතෙන්න ගන්නවා. හරිද? Can't be like that. So you have to have ambition and you have to work on it really hard. That's the only way that you get a result. Right? Otherwise, what happens is you will get lost in the middle. Have an ambition. For that we had like අපි කට්ටියක් ගියා මේ එක්ස්පෝ එකට. මෙහි BMI CG එක්ස්පෝ එකට ගිහිල්ලා නිකන් අපි බැලුවා මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා after A levels. බලලා හිත හදාගත්තා මේ prices එහෙම බලලා හිත හදාගත්තා government university එකට යනවා කියලා කොහොම හරි. නේ 45 35 lakhs 40 lakhs likewise. ඒ tuition fee විතරක් හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ මේ lectures වලට විතරයි ඒ fee එක tuition fee එක විතරයි. එතකොට අනිත් cost add වෙලා එනකොට බර ගාණක් එනවා. ඒ හින්දා first thing මේ කොහොම හරි government university එකට පයින්න තමයි try එක දෙන්න ඕන. and there's a huge possibility that you can get selected into a government university. ඒකට අර මේ මොටිවේෂන් එකක් එන්න ඕන හැමතිස්සෙම මොකක් හරි ටාගට් එකකට යනවා කියන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා යන සයිඩ් එකක් දැන් සිලෙක්ට් කරන්න. ඔටෝමොබයිල් කරනවා නම් ඔටෝමොබයිල්. මොකක් හරි මෙකාට්‍රොනික් සයිඩ් එකක් කරනවා නම් ඒවා. ඊට පස්සේ මොනවා හරි ෆුඩ් ටෙක්නොලොජි කරනවා නම්, ෆාමසිටිකල් ටෙක්නොලොජි කරනවා නම්, මෙඩිකල් ලැබොරටරි ටෙක්නොලොජි පැත්ත කරනවා නම් ඒක සිලෙක්ට් කරන්න. BST ET දෙගොල්ලම. දැන් මෙතන BST ළමයිනුත් ඉන්නවා. Any BST people here? No? No BSTs here? No, they're supposed to be. There's one girl, this girl, right? Your friend. Yeah, she's doing BST. So BST girls are also there, and the boys are there. So you have to have ambition that you be doing this after the A-levels. Right? After A-levels, මම මෙන්න මේ වගේ පැත්තක තමයි යන්නේ කියන idea එක තියෙන්න ඕන. ඒක follow කරන්න ඕන. එතකොට තමයි මේකේ පොඩි go එකක් තියෙන්නේ. නැත්තම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? මැදක් යනකොට නිකන් මොකක්ද දෙයක් වෙනවා මැදදී. හරිද? And the other thing is මේකේ ඔයා හරියට achievement A levels එක කරොත් විතරයි ඔයාට මෙතනින් එහාදී life එක comfortable වෙන්නේ. හරිද? That is one of the main things. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා මේම comfortably ගෙවන අන්තිම කාලේ තමයි මේක. මේ 2 years තමයි ඔයා මේ විදිහට comfortably ගෙවන්නේ. මේ 2 years වලින් පස්සේ ඔයාට responsibility එක මීට වඩා ගොඩක් වැඩි වෙනවා. හරිද? ඔයා ඒ කියන්නේ ස්ටුඩන්ට් කෙනෙක් විදියට ස්කූල් යන ළමෙක් විදියට සලකන්නේ මිනිස්සු මේ 2 years විතරයි. හරිද? මේ 2 years වලින් පස්සේ ඔයා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් civilized person කෙනෙක්. එතකොට people won't treat you the same way. හරිද? You have to be responsible after the A levels. Even in the A levels you should be responsible. මොකද මේකෙන් පස්සේ ඔයාට ඔයාගේ දේවල් කරගන්න වෙනවා තනියෙන්. නේ? එහෙම කරගන්න තනියෙන් කරගන්න උනාන් පස්සේ සමහර වෙලාවට බස් එකේ ඔයා යුනිෆෝම් ගිහිල්ලා හරි මොකක් හරි ෂේප් එකේ ක්ලාස් හරි යනකොට ඔයා ස්ටුඩන්ට් කෙනෙක් නම් අවුලක් නැහැ. ළමෙක් නේ කියලා සලකනවා. හැබැයි මේක පැන්නාන් පස්සේ ළමෙක් විදිහට සලකන්නේ නැහැ. හරි? සල්ලි නැහැ ගෝ පයින් හරි එන්න කියලා කියනවා. එහෙම සලකන්නේ නැහැ. ඒතර ඒ කාලේ වෙනකොට ඔයා මේ ඔයාගේ කව එක ඔයා කරගෙන තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ এডুকেෂන් පැත්තෙන් ෆස්ට් එක. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාට එන ගොඩාක් දේවල් වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ සමහර වෙලාවට යාළුවෝගේ පැත්තෙන් යාළුවෝ එක එක පැති වලට යනවා. හරිද? ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාගේ නෑදෑයෝ කට්ටියක් බලන් ඉන්නවා. මූ හරි ගිහිල්ලාද කියලා වෙලාද. මූ grow වෙන එකෙද්ද නන්නත්තර වෙලා චාටර් වෙලා යන එකෙද්ද කියන එක බලන් ඉන්නේ. You will be depressed, really depressed. That happens, right? That happens in life. That's how life is. Even your family and parents will get depressed because they are thinking and they are worrying. මූ මොනා කරගනිත් දන්නේ in the future. නේ? They are getting worried. Even they get sick because of that. And if they have to like pay too much of money for you, that will be a burden for them as well. ඒකට එහෙම ලේසියෙන් ගෙවන්න බෑනේ. සල්ලි ගානක් අපිටම යට කරන්න වෙනවා නම් it will be a burden for them. So like think really wise. මේ තියෙන chance එක A levels ඉවර කරගන්න එක maximum level එකකින් ඉවර කරගන්න. මොකද මෙතනින් පස්සේ the life won't be same. Life won't be simple as this. මොකද ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාට හැමෝම එන්නේ මොනා කරන්නද? There's a word I can't say. එහෙම කරන්න තමයි ඉන්නේ. හරි? ඒ කියන්නේ yes හරි. So ඒ කාලේ වෙනකොට ඔයාට safety එක හදාගෙන තිබ්බේ නැත්තම් people will be using you to make their dreams come true. හරි? People will be definitely using you. හරි? ඒ කියන්නේ එහෙම use වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න ඔයාගේ life එක හදාගෙන යන්න ඕන නම් you have to get really educated and you have to plan it that you will be doing something like this. I'll be growing like this. I'll be doing a job like this. My salary will be something like this. You have to like at least dream it. ඒ කියන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් හිතන්න. හරි. හිතනකොට ඒකට පාත්වය එක හැදෙනවා. එහෙම නැතුව නිකන් අර ඔහේ ඉන්න එපා. එහෙම ඉඳියන් පස්සේ මොකද වෙන්නේ? මැදක් යනකොට ඔයාටම මේ වැඩේ හරියට වෙන්නේ නැති වෙයි. එහෙම වුණ නැතුණාන් පස්සේ second thing what happens is you won't get a proper high education. That happens. And if you didn't get a proper high education, you won't get a proper job. If you couldn't get a proper job, what happens? You won't get a proper salary. If you don't have proper salary, you don't have money. No money, no honey, right? So you won't get a proper girlfriend or a wife as well. Even for the girls, that's the same. You have to be educated. Nowadays, boys won't go for the beauty as only for the beauty, right? Will go for the education as well, right? So you have to have the money to have a proper family life. That's the reality. So if you don't have the the money and the job, you won't get a proper wife, right? And even if you had like a wife, let's say you may manage to have a sort of a wife, that's fine. Now you have the children, right? And the children are now suffering because you don't have a proper job and you don't have proper money that you can spend for their education and other stuff, right? They are cursing on you. මේක ඉගෙන ගත්තේ නෑ මුකුත් හම්බ කරේ නෑ අපිට දැන් මෙහෙම ඉන්න වෙලා කියලා they will start cursing and until the death even your grandchildren will do the same, right? සීයා මූ කළා නෑ මූසලේ වගේ ඉඳලා will tell, right? අනිවාර්යෙන් කියනවා that happens, right? So all that depends on your A levels, right? All that depends on your A levels. So the simple part, the simple key to your like the happiness of the life is A levels. Try to do it at the best and in the maximum that you can do. හරි. ඒක කරලා කොහොමරි හොඳම result එක දාලා මේකෙන් out වෙන්න බලන්න නැත්නම් life won't be same. හරිද? Life won't be same after the A levels. So A levels is one of the very important and මේ ඒක අපි අර මේ විකට ගියාන් පස්සෙත් දැක්කේ දැන් 45 lakhs 50 lakhs වගේ වෙනවා එක ඩිග්‍රී එක වැලියු එක. හිතන්න ඔයාලට accommodation වලට ගියා නම් තව ලක්ෂ 5ක් 6ක් අනිවාර්යෙන් යනවා. 8ක්වත් යයි. ඊට පස්සේ ෆුඩ් වලට ගියා නම් තවත් බර ගාණක් යනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඔය ෆන්ක්ෂන්ස් තියෙනවා. ඇඳුමක් ඇඳන් යන්න බෑ. ඒවට යනවා. එතකොට සමහරවිට ලක්ෂ 80ක විතර ගාණක ඩිග්‍රී එකට තමයි වියදම් කරන්න වෙන්නේ ප්‍රයිවට් ගියාන් පස්සේ. හැබැයි ගවර්න්මන්ට් එකකට ගියයි කියලා කියන්නේ ඒ ගාණම ඔයාට නිකන් හම්බ වෙනවා. Even the food is cheap, right? You don't have to wear like අර fancy ඇඳුම් අඳින්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Can wear like simple like this. ඔයාට යන්න පුළුවන් යුනිවර්සිටි එකට කිසි අවුලක් නැහැ. Nobody will say anything to you. And ඊට පස්සේ යුනිවර්සිටි fee එක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් free of charge. Everything is free. Even the hostels are free. Accommodation is free, right? ඒ කියන්නේ කෙලිම sweep එකක් ඇදනවා වගේ වැඩක් නෙනේ. 80 lakhs වල වගේ sweep එකක් ඇදනවා වගේ වැඩක්. If you got selected to the university, and for the English medium people there's a huge chance because your is like extra values will be extra marks will be added for the English medium. So you are getting a greater Z than the other ones, right? Other single medium ones. And when you go to the university, there's a higher chance. In the first year, most of the people are struggling with the language, So their GPA, there's a GPA like the Z. In the university, there's a GPA. Their GPA will go down. Depending on your GPA, you get a class. So in the first year, you have the language knowledge. You learn it properly. So from the first year, you can score really well that you can get into a really good pass that you end up having a, let's say, first class, second class, or sort of a class rather like me compared to the other people. In the A opportunities, godak thina when you go to the university, government university. In the yes. University ගේද මෙහෙම ඒතර ෆස්ට් සෙකන්ඩ් ඉයර් වල තියෙන මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට්ස් වල ක්‍රෙඩිට්ස් තියෙනවා ක්‍රෙඩිට් කියලා තියෙනවනේ ඒ ක්‍රෙඩිට් ගොඩක් ආවට ෆස්ට් ඉයර් සෙකන්ඩ් ඉයර් දාන්නේ ලෝ ක්‍රෙඩිට්ස් ඒවා ඒ කියන්නේ 2 ක්‍රෙඩිට් 3 ක්‍රෙඩිට් මැක්සිමම් 3 ක්‍රෙඩිට් වගේ යන්නේ එතකොට වෙන්නේ GPA එක ලොකුවට වැඩි වෙන්නේ නැහැ හැබැයි සෙකන්ඩ් ඉයර් තර්ඩ් ඉයර් ෆෝර්ත් ඉයර් යනකොට 6 ක්‍රෙඩිට් 8 ක්‍රෙඩිට් ඒවා තියෙනවා ඒ අර ක්‍රෙඩිට් ගානේ මල්ටිප්ලයි කරලා ගන්න ඔව් ඒ chance එක තියෙනවා. මොකද first year ගොඩක් අය GPA එක අඩු කරගන්න. language barrier එකකින් තමයි. ඕගොල්ලෝ language barrier එක නැතුව ගියාන් පස්සේ අල්ලගන්න ලේසි. ඒක second year third year කියලා වෙනසකුත් නැහැ. මේ language barrier එක ලොකුවට බලපානවනේ. papers වලට උත්තර ලියනකොට, lectures අහන් ඉන්නකොට language barrier එක තියෙනවා. ඒක ඕගොල්ලන්ට නැති වෙනවා. ඕගොල්ලෝ මේක හරියට English medium වලින් කරගෙන ගියාන් පස්සේ ඒ වාසිය තියෙනවා. කොහොමද? මොකද මෙතනින් එහාට මේ සිංහලෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න නැහැ නේ. English වලින් තමයි කරගෙන යන්නේ. ඒ opportunity එක ඕගොල්ලන්ට naturally humble. That's a good thing. Like මට කියන්න තියෙන මම ගොඩක් ඒවා තව කියන්න තියෙන මම I'll tell in the future because we have 2 years to go now. So ඉස්සරහදී මම කියන්නම් ඔය ඊට වඩා සෑහෙන දේවල් තියෙනවා හිතන්න කියන්න and I'll try to bring some people here as well the people who went to the got selected to the university. අද එක්කෙනෙක් අයියා කෙනෙක් ඉන්නේ ඉන්දියාවට අද එන්න බැරි වුණා. එයා මම එක්කන් එන්නම් තව දවසක අක්කලා එහෙම ඉන්නවා තව යුනිවර්සිටි ගියායි. ඒකලොන් ගෙනල්ලා නිකන් ideas ටිකක් අපි ගමු. Right. So guys, see you on next week. In a hurry. Go. Other people stay. ඉන්නවද fast track ඉන්නවා නම් ඉන්න. Fast track ඉන්නා ඉන්න. If you are doing the fast track, if you want to finish your levels in 2026, that's the fast track, you can stay. And aim on 2027 වල මේක ඉවර කර ගන්නවා, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Come. පුතේ පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්නවද? ටියුටර් බක්. චත්. Okay. Bye. අම්මා. ඉතින් අද ඉඳලා ලේසි නේ. අද කෑමයක් කරන්නේ. හා. එන ලබසත් ඉඳන් පුළුවන් රෙකෝඩින් එක ගතේ. दा මම මේකේ රෙකෝඩින් එක කොහම YouTube එකට දාන්න. ඒකම බලන්න. මේ අතේ This girl, she's coming here.
Yeah, she told me that she's coming on Tuesday, but like I didn't talk to her.
Uh-huh.
She said she would be. She will come next week. Yeah. Maybe next week she will come.
She said she's coming. She said she's coming today. Adina kya kiya?
Then maybe for 2026.
Yeah, the second class, yes. Because she, I think, have an exam or something tomorrow. Now she had to do the practicals today. So we went to the school. And she's coming from there, from the school.
She did Western music for.
Ah, yeah, something. And she said like she'll be coming from the school to directly to the class by the train. Not sure if she can come right by 3. Happy Bala. Yep. No, that's fine.
මගේ කසින් age 21 වලට තමයි යුනිවර්සිටි සිලෙක්ට් එක කියන්නේ normal විදියට එලස් කරන fast track නෙමෙයි. එතකොට එයා ටෙක් කරේ
21.
21.
That's a third shy.
No, she did the first 21 now. I don't know like age again.
She got selected to the university or finished the university or something.
She's going to university.
So the first year, right?
Yeah, first
Yeah. So yes. So
Normally it takes a lot of time and like I don't know because now I am 16.
Yes.
So I'm doing my levels in 17.
17.
So when
You'll be in the university by 19 or something.
why does it take so long? Like we have to.
That's the you know how it's said. Ah, put that in.